Welcome back. Congress has until tomorrow to make a decision regarding America's debt. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says her office can delay a default until June. Republicans say they want to encourage spending cuts and refuse to increase the debt ceiling. Democrats say the spending cuts would likely come from Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. But what exactly is the debt ceiling and what happens when we reach it?
Lena DeFlorius is here to explain it all for us. Good morning to you, Lena.
Morning. And it starts with the debt. The debt of the country is $31 trillion. To give you some perspective, that's 31 with 12 zeros after it. It's almost all the money in the world if you were to collect every dollar, coin, gold piece, silver. So why don't we get in Caleb Silver, who is editor-in-chief of Investopedia. Good morning to you. You know what? I just want to ask you the number one question, because a lot of people, when they hear debt ceiling, they think, oh, it means that we're just raising our own credit limit and that we can borrow more money. But this is really to pay for things that we've already promised, no?
Yeah, these are for mandatory expenditures, obviously, like Medicare and defense and other things, but also other contributions the Treasury Department makes on behalf of federal employees into federal employee retirement funds, into veteran retirement funds, into all the other bills that we have to pay as a country. And we have a lot of bills and a lot of debt. You said it, $31.4 trillion.
And then Janet Yellen, who is the head of the Treasury, says, you know what, we're going to go to what they call extraordinary measures. It basically buys us a little more time. And to be honest with you, it reads kind of like a shell game. We're going to move the money maybe from paying the electricity bill over to paying the gas bill.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they're doing. And the way they do that, those extraordinary measures include suspending investments or reinvestments in retirement funds for federal employees. That's the first thing that the Treasury Secretary is going to have to do in order to move those funds around to buy some time. But this is all just kicking the can down the road. This is the annual food fight in Washington. We get this almost every single year. And what do politicians do? Usually they kick the can down the road. It doesn't look like that's in the cards this time, because House Republicans are saying no deal without spending cuts, and Democrats are saying no deal with that deal. So we're in an impasse right now.
You know what? So there was a time, I think in 2011, where we came into a similar situation and the United States credit rating was downgraded by Standard & Poor's. Kind of walk us through that. Is that kind of like if I were to maybe skip a payment on a credit card, then they would give me a lower credit score and that would drive up my interest rate? Would that be the interest rate for the country and for us as well?
Yeah, that's a great way to explain it, and that's a great way to look at it. The risk, and this is what happened in 2011, is we came up against the debt ceiling and our credit rating was downgraded. What does that really mean? The government issues government bonds to pay our bills, and those government bonds are the safest investments in the world, the 10-year Treasury. But if we come up against the debt ceiling and we get a credit downgrade from one of the rating agencies, this is like having your credit score lowered, then the interest on that debt goes higher. The interest on those 10-year Treasuries goes higher, which drives up interest rates for everything else we pay. So many things are set off of the 10-year Treasury, like credit card rates, like mortgage rates, et cetera. So if that yield goes up, so do our payments on some of those floating payments that we have to finance.
Okay, so that hits us personally in our own wallet. It also makes me wonder about, our troops getting paid, people who are going to the mailbox for Social Security checks. Is that affected?
Well, not yet, and those would be suspended if they came to those extraordinary measures. Those always get made whole once a deal is reached. So this is suspending payments, but that doesn't happen right away. You may get to the point where we have to shut down parks and things like that, but we're not there yet. The Treasury Secretary is saying there is some moves that she can make, and those are those extraordinary measures until we get to that early June, when she says we'll run out of money.
Okay, the X date coming up in the middle of the year, unless Congress comes up with a new plan to raise the debt ceiling. Hey, Caleb Silver, thank you for walking us through that. Appreciate you.
Thank you.